the old United will break the records. They break the invincibles, they break this and that, right? But the new the new United creates records for
Creating
people.
records.
Yeah, and Matt, I also doubt. If you look the records, right? Salah, if you ask him what's his favorite games, he will say with MU because he always scores with MU.
He always scores
And
against United.
Not extremely consistent, but they are in the way and abouts actually on how they are playing and all. They have a ton of players to replace and plug and play.
but if you look at the other teams, right? Liverpool, it's also transitioning, quote and unquote, right?
Quote
City,
unquote, forever
yeah.
transitioning now.
And that's my point as well because Liverpool did a lot of change, quote and unquote, a proper transition, right? Because you're transitioning your young players to become more, I don't know.
So and finally we conclude. Are we expecting a a win either from Liverpool or from United next week? Right, lads, we're back once again in our 10th episode, presented to you by Bollock Studios, where football nutmegs the nonsense. So, of course, I know it was the international break, yeah, and probably from our ends, we were also quite quiet, lah. I'm not saying we are not following the international football, we did, right? But I mean, for us to cover, maybe we will save it when the right time comes, right? So, of course, speaking of the nonsense, what's going on at United, man? This past week itself, a lot of topics have been raising eyebrows, from that sudden Saudi takeover to Sesko being rated by, I think there was a survey, right? There was a survey conducted by or from agents or something like that, that Sesko is the worst United signing. So, I mean, there are a list of players there which we are going to get into all that in due course. Yeah. And of course, Shariff, thanks for joining, man. It's good to see you once again. How are you doing? You all right?
Doing okay, man. Nothing to complain. Looking forward for the football because it's been a very quiet 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I know it was quiet, like quite bored also, lah. No EPLs, yeah. So, and of
Yeah,
course, we
no
are,
EPLs,
yeah, exactly, no EPL and also,
no La
and that.
Ligas or football.
Oh yeah, no football, no club
Mm,
football lah in that
correct, yeah.
context, right? And of course, in
Mm.
this 10th episode, we kind of like kicking it a little old school, where it's just Shariff and I. So I know if you so to all you viewers, if you tuned in from the first two episodes was only done by myself and Shariff. Yeah, so we have reached our very 10th episode, and we are missing Kuhan for this very episode due to personal errands. So we thought we respect that. And yeah, so it's just Sharif and I today. So we've got a couple of topics lined up. So speaking of the nonsense, obviously, Sharif, what's going on at United with this recent Saudi takeover? I mean, I was shocked myself. I mean, it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, there's a Saudi talks on taking over United, and would that push the Glazers out for good? And what happens? I mean, of course, knowing the obvious fact that Ineos is with 20 over percent stake in United at the moment. So I mean, take us through, man. I'm not sure what are the recent findings. Maybe yeah, let's get on with it, man.
Yeah, sure, Matt. Okay, jumping directly to the Saudi takeover, but yeah, maybe I'll later. Let's touch on the also the interview from Jimmy as well, right?
Yeah.
I think yeah. On the Saudi takeover, right? I would not see a Saudi takeover, but
Mm-hmm.
I think what's going now right now there are reports and these are coming from journalists and reporters that this is no nonsense reporters. This is
Mm-hmm.
not the Twitter reporters. All
Okay.
those social media reporters. These are coming from the Athletic, and then
Mm-hmm.
you have also
Okay.
David Ornstein as well, right? Coming up and giving a message that the Glazers
Mm-hmm.
are looking option, right? So they are looking options to sell their shares
Mm-hmm.
from Man United, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what does this mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know some say that is it like the Glazers are willing to share their ownership and everything, and then what's going to
Mm-hmm.
happen to Ineos because they are also currently the co-owners or the minority owners they call it, right? Yeah, if you look at it, right, I mean, for me personally, well, first, of course, when I heard it, I also was okay. Why suddenly? Because I was also a little bit skeptical. Maybe this is the time because maybe it's part of business, international break.
Mm-hmm.
They want to increase their share, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe try to create certain interest from headlines or media or something like that, right?
Isn't that common, right?
Yeah. But then, uh, what do I call that? I also watched certain clips and everything, right? And I noticed that and when one thing caught my eye, right, is that you see the Glazers took over Man United from 2005, right? So it's been 20 years, right? It's been 20 years since the Glazers bought over Man United. And the way they bought Man United is that they took a loan, right, for
Mm-hmm.
almost 700 to 850
Oof.
million pounds. And then after owning Man United, and then the loan was part of the debt of the club itself
Mm-hmm.
because it's their owner, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean they owns the club, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what got me interesting is that when they bought the share price
Mm-hmm.
or the share price during 2005,
Mm-hmm.
market price for United that time was at around 13 to 14 US dollar at the New York Stock Exchange, right? Okay. So that there are analysts comparing, right, the
Mm-hmm.
stock exchange as it goes up and everything, right? And after 20 years, year 2025 right now, the current stock market for United right now, it's floating at 18 USD to 19 USD. That's
Okay.
that's some people might say I do not know whether you play stocks or something, but
Mm-hmm.
after 20 years, there's only a heap
A
or
very
hike.
very small
Yeah,
jump there only. Okay.
exactly. Almost like $4 US dollars, right? So when you look at it from a business perspective, this does not look good to the Glazers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And moving on with the all that things that's happening right now with,
Mm-hmm.
with with Man United not qualifying for Europe and so on and so forth, they are just not confident enough whether they could able to create a better hike or better investment, right? Because after 20 years, it's not good
Yep.
for the Glazers from a business perspective, right? That's one, right? And the second thing is that they could cash in
Mm-hmm.
their loan debt. That's also
Mm-hmm.
from a report from Sky Sports saying that if they
Mm-hmm.
sell now,
Mm-hmm.
they could cash in the loan, the debt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then gain additional billions
Mm-hmm.
of US dollars, right? So that's also a plus for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good time to basically to sell the share market right now, right? Or looking at it, right? But that is also a part of a what do you call this strategy marketing from the business side as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because uh during United trend, right, they hit the highest share market around USD 23 to 24 US dollars, right? That
Okay.
happens when I think the year when they won the 20th Premier League title,
Yep.
right?
This was
Then
so long ago, man.
recent, yeah, during Ferguson days, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And it was going down, and then it came a little bit up, but not that high when
Mm-hmm.
when United brought in Jose Mourinho, right? And then it went, not drop, but it dropped, and then it's just floating around like where we are right now,
Mm-hmm.
among 18 to 19 years. And then the highest that we got is when Glazers announced to sell, to the Qatari owners. And that it
Yep.
goes
Yep.
very high.
Yep. Yep.
Some experts are saying that maybe they are just creating another spike in the share
Mm-hmm.
market
Mm-hmm.
just in order to sell higher and then cash in more bigger as well, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's maybe a business strategy from the Glazers
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's from a business point standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
From a football standpoint, I'll keep it at it, but maybe I want to hear what's your take on that
Yeah.
after what I shared.
I think. I mean, okay, like as from a fan's perspective, right? I think it's time. it's time for the sale. I may or may not have been very supportive in previously and all that, but looking at how it has been, and I mean, look, even though for that few dollars extra and whatnot, right? I think it's still profit. That's how I look at it, right? It's still profit at the end of the day, right? May or may not look or sound much, but with this sale, selling the shares and all whatnot, and a whole new ownership, could this also be a whole new revolution for United? Is this what's needed? Yes, all these years, the focus was always been, I mean, to all viewers, even yourself, Sharif, we all can agree, right? There has always been a merry-go-round with managers after managers after managers, right? But where has that taken, right? So this is a part, in my opinion, I feel that it's a much more bigger picture from how maybe as fans we are not probably seeing it. But I feel it could be like what you mentioned just now. I agree with you. Where is this just another business strategy, is kind of a business
Correct.
gimmick, like, just highlight this, hey, raise the shares up and just to see what we get, right? But and I can agree, yes, at that time when the previous one, when it spiked up, was the moment when the Qataris was in the picture. This was before Ineos lah.
Exactly.
This was before Ineos, right? So my take on it is, ultimately, it's time. A lot of pundits and even former players did talk about it as well, and it's time. If this is it, means regardless lah, whoever takes, I mean, I shouldn't say regardless, because we'll be having comments like how when we had Ineos who took over, right? So I mean, we had a fair share of comments in regards to, like, are they good? Are they like, oh, okay, we are questioning, their take over, that partial takeover and all that stuff, right? But ultimately, I feel United needs a new ownership. And will this,
I
like,
agree.
and once again, I feel that, I mean, again, right, this is just coming from you or coming from ourselves, right? However, I want to hear this from the fans. I want to hear this from the people as well. Will this takeover, or, okay, well, it's not a confirmed takeover. These are just speculations and coming from very strong sources, right? Like what you mentioned, Athletic and, David Ornstein and all this, right? And so it could or could not be true. We don't know, but I want to hear your viewers' thoughts as well. I mean, you can just post your comment and let us know if this takeover should take place or otherwise, right? So, because I mean, for me, I totally support the sale of the club and get a new fresh hands in Man United overall, right? So, and but then probably my just another quick follow-up question to you, Sharif. If, let's say, in the name of impact, so example, should this sale take place, regardless, okay, let's say in this context now, the Saudi takeover is imminent. What do we see as the potential impact that would, I mean, good, neutral, or bad? What do you think?
For me, I know when people, any clubs, right, when any links to the oil money, countries like the Qataris, like
Exactly.
Saudis and the other stuff, I
Mhm,
mean, people tend to see the positives, right? Or maybe, okay, this is going to be like the new Man City, PSGs,
mhm,
they have the money,
mhm.
right? They could invest
Yep.
definitely, right? But can it guarantee success? Because we do see as well, right? How
Mhm.
many years it took PSG to win their first Champions League,
I
right?
agree.
Man City, after how many managers, right, came in, and then
Mhm,
finally they got the right managers under Pep Guardiola.
mhm.
Newcastle as well. I'm only
Yep.
sad that Kuhen could not join,
Yep. Yep.
but he will definitely blame the PSR. So 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 it's a good thing as well for me
Mhm.
as a fan. Now I'm speaking as a fan, right? Then I'll put myself like a quote and unquote analyst.
Yep.
As a fan, I mean, if you look at the episodes earlier than where we had when two of us and everything, right? Uh, I really told, right, if Ruben Amorim is getting the boot, right? I'm not just Amorim out or Amorim in. I'm absolutely the whole structure of United from your Sir Jimmy up until Ruben Amorim and his staff should
Mhm,
go if Ruben Amorim or the club or the owners right now, or I will not say
mhm.
the owner, the current hierarchy right now
Yep.
for United, right? The Ineos right now decide, to pull the plug on Ruben Amorim. Because if they just sack or replace Ruben Amorim with a
Mhm.
different manager,
Yep.
it's going to be the same thing as well.
I
It's going
agree.
to be again like what you mentioned just now, the merry-go-round
There you
and
go
then
round.
so
Yep,
forth. Yeah.
that's true.
And this comes into a good segue as well to the interview that
Yes.
Sir Jimmy gave in as well, right? Where he was telling to give 3 years to what do you call that to Ruben Amorim. Yeah. For me, that is actually for me. This is not from a football fan, but from a very just a neutral thing, right? I mean, from Man United fan, okay, good. We are not sacking the manager. We are giving time and everything blah blah blah. We are doing things different and everything. Okay, but from a neutral standpoint, from a football perspective, from a common sense point of view, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not saying I'm expert there. For me, he's just saving his back, or right, Sir Jimmy, because you see, I've been saying in our pod
So
as
you
well, right?
so you mean saving Sir Jim's back, or is it Ruben Amorim's back?
No, no, saving Ineos itself, right? Because because if like I say, if he sack Ruben Amorim,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That is like almost 3.5 years down the road where Ineos took over,
Mm-hmm.
and that shows that nothing has been delivered because they took over before Eric Ten Hag left,
Yep.
right? That
Yep.
was like 2023, right? And then 2024, and then now it's running 2025. So it's almost 3 years, right? So and then and you did. I mean, it's going to be like a tape recorder, right? I mean, you didn't got right with Eric Ten Hag after winning the
Mm-hmm.
FA Cup. You did not get right with Dan Ashworth, right? I mean, yeah, some people can argue who knows the future, right? But it's the argument that
Mm-hmm.
Dan Ashworth put up in, because these are the reports that came in that saying that it requires a lot of investment to play the football that what Ruben Amorim wants to play, right? And this is something that has not been proven in
Mm-hmm.
the Premier League as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? So going all of that, and then sacking Ruben Amorim, for me,
Mm-hmm.
I will be surprised if
Mm-hmm.
they sack Ruben Amorim, because
Yep.
that shows that will only open up their own mistakes
Yep.
and their mismanagement of the whole Ineos itself. So for him to come out during international week saying that I'm backing up Ruben Amorim for another 3 years, or giving Ruben Amorim another 3 years, and then that's one for me. For me, it's just saving his ass or behind, right? Ineos behind.
Yep.
Sorry for my French, right? Just for me, it's just also shifting the pressure to Ruben Amorim itself, not
Mm-hmm.
to Ineos. Because imagine if Ineos sack Amorim and then they brought in a new manager, then it's exactly to the
Mm-hmm.
Ineos head, like what
Mm-hmm.
Glazers did, right?
Yep.
They brought in okay, when David Moyes came in, and then Louis
Mm-hmm.
Van Gaal, and then when Jose Mourinho came in,
Mm-hmm.
then it's like, okay, now we are changing managers. Maybe Glazers is not doing well, right? Because maybe you guys do not know what is going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it will be like what you mentioned, right? The merry-go-round. That's one point where I see, right? The second point is his justification. He says that why a football does not happen overnight. Football needs time. Look at Mikel Arteta. Well,
Mm-hmm.
to you and to all the viewers out there, I did a comparison, right, of
Mm-hmm.
the first 50 games for between Ruben Amorim with Man United and Mikel Arteta with Arsenal. And disclaimer, right? This is an Arsenal that is for me it's much more the situation is much more worse than in Man United right now,
Mm-hmm.
because you have players that are maybe in the disciplining area, and then or maybe not fully committed to the club. Like you saw the fighting between I think Lacazette and what
Yep.
was his name, the left back guy, right? And then
Yeah. I can't remember his name.
I
Yeah.
think you saw the video, right? And then Aubameyang, and then you did not have a good defense line as well. You have David Luiz that time, right? And then you
Mm-hmm.
have the right back as well. So it's not something that is how or maybe like a players that is Arteta wants. So just to compare, right? During that game and until now, there are only two players left in the squad, which is Odegaard and I forgot the defense, which is now he's also one of the sub. So only two players left, right? And Gabriel Martinelli.
Okay.
Okay,
These are
all
the
right.
only
So
two. Okay. All right.
the only two, right? And then of course Bukayo Saka promoted and so on, right? So I want to put a disclaimer over here, meaning just to put the squad for Mikel Arteta and Ruben Amorim, right? And for first 50 games. The winning percentage of Mikel Arteta, Matt, is 54%, right?
Okay.
And Ruben Amorim's winning percentage is 34%.
Oof.
Okay, some will argue, oh, he came
Yeah.
in mid-season. Arteta came in mid-season as well.
Yep.
All right,
I
Arteta
agree.
came in mid-season
Yes,
as well,
yes.
right? Arteta came in mid-season as well. So again, why we are comparing with Arteta? Because Sir Ratcliffe compare the justification because
Yep.
he said that look at Arteta, right? So out of the 50 games, this is the one of the biggest difference, Matt. Ruben Amorim managed to win 19 games, whereas Mikel Arteta managed to win 27 games.
Hmm. Okay.
And the goal difference,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So the goals for, it's almost similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where Arteta Arsenal's for the first 50 games managed to score 79 goals,
Mm-hmm.
whereas for Ruben Amorim Man United 78 goals, but the goals against, meaning their clean sheets,
Yep.
meaning people who score them, right? So for Ruben Amorim, they score 78,
Oof.
Man United shipped in goals 76.
Oof.
That's plus 2
Mm-hmm.
goals
Mm-hmm.
difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Mikel Arteta, right, and this is again without without the right keeper, without the defense, like I mentioned, the defense line, they could able to allow goals to ship in 48, and that's 31 goal difference, right? Clean sheets 18. And of course, during the first season, he won the major cup trophy, which is the FA Cup, and Amorim couldn't won the Europa
The
League
Europa.
with a broken Spurs team.
We
So
also, but could we also like not argue, but to compare in the sense of the difference of the issues between both teams as well that's resulting to these stats? Because I don't know, because I feel that
what type of issues, Matt?
I don't know. I mean, well, of course, I mean, top down issues, right? Is it manager problem, player problem, system problem, all this, right? Because I think I mean, I don't know. I'm not going against the stats. I'm agreeable with the stats, right? It's like it's painting a picture where, like we spoke about it, right? You know, the more you look into the stats, you get the devil in the something you mentioned, right? So
Devil
I
in
don't know.
details.
And the devil, yeah, the devil in the details. But I don't know, lah, Sharif. I feel it's like the depth of the problems between both clubs is a joke, right? It's a joke in a sense of maybe Arsenal. Again, yeah, I could be wrong. I could be wrong by saying this, yeah. So I apologize in advance to the viewers. But were the problems in Arsenal as bad as the merry-go-rounds that's been happening and all the inheritance from all the issues post Sir Alex Ferguson, and this is the result that that's where United is at now. So to compare the weightage of it, does that reflect to the stats? I don't know. It's a question mark there, right? So yeah.
Yeah, I see your point. For me, that's a little that's subjective, and it's a
Mm-hmm,
valid point as well, right?
mm-hmm,
If you want to compare, like for example, if we take Pep's 50 games and
mm-hmm. Klopp's 50 games.
Klopp's 50 games, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Klopp's have, meaning he inherit a squad that has not win for the last 30 years, right? Or
Yep.
maybe the Champions League and or maybe the Premier League, right? Fine.
Yep.
Like I mentioned earlier, before I share the stats, right, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
These when Arteta inherit Arsenal,
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal was not something that it needs, like, or maybe like, how do I say, slots inherit Klopp, right?
Yep.
It's not something that they are moving like a step up, right?
They
Okay, now
basically inherited bad apples lah.
exactly,
Yeah.
like you're
Yeah.
stepping up.
Yeah.
Who was? Let me tell you, who was the ex-manager before Arteta took over, if you could remember.
Wasn't it Unai Emery?
Exactly. So I asked that. Why I want to say that, because okay, Unai Emery now is doing well in Aston Villa, but when he took Arsenal, it was kind of chaotic, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you have I think a lot of incidents where Granit Xhaka threw away the armband, right?
Yeah.
You have I also was mentioning as well the fight between, I forgot again, the left back. Maybe Arsenal fan will could remind us,
Mhm,
with Lacazette as well. The
mhm,
player power of Aubameyang, the defense as well,
mhm,
and they had issues. I
mhm.
know we can argue day and night.
Yep.
MU issues
Yep.
as much more,
Mhm,
but what I'm saying when Arteta took over, it was not a step in, or okay,
mhm.
now we had a stable, much more stable foundation, right? And
Yep.
then now we
Yep.
need someone to just push us through. That is why he took almost 3 to 4 years to
Mhm,
be a consistent
mhm,
number two
mhm.
team in Premier League or next
Yep.
season FC.
Correct.
But what my point is here is that when you give, or when all the fans, right, for MU fans, and this is, I'm pleading to all fans out there, right, or especially to MU fans, I understand, and I agree that managers needs time, and I agree also to Sir Ratcliffe as well, that football does not happen overnight, but you got to invest with the right person.
Mhm,
Right now, I'm not saying that Ruben Amorim is not the right person, but based on the evidence and the show, or the performance of the
mhm,
team in
mhm,
field,
mhm,
right? I don't see an improvement, and I
mhm,
don't see, right,
mhm,
it will change.
mhm, mhm,
I just feel, deep down, that it's going to be that, it's going to be there. It's going to be there. It's not going to go away.
mhm,
Where else, when you look at Mikel Arteta's team, right? You know that he's building something. He needs time to build something. Like I mentioned, within his first 50 games, his winning percentage of 54%, that's equivalent with Jose Mourinho, man,
Yep. Whole season,
for first
full.
3 years.
Yeah, first three.
Exactly.
Yeah. Correct.
So this is something where I see. I mean, we talk offline as well, right? When we put trust, I know last time when we put trust with Ole, we put trust with Eric Ten Hag,
Mhm,
we cannot expect a golden goose
mhm,
to turn out to golden goose, where the potential that we have, sorry to say, is a cow. We need to we need to have like a white goose or swan, and then we know, okay, this is the right
mhm,
goose or swan, and then later on it will be a golden goose. We cannot we cannot expect a chicken to become a golden goose.
mhm,
You get my point. I'm not saying that Ruben Amorim is right now a cow or chicken, but the evidence right now, it's showing that I don't see a potential. I don't see Ruben Amorim could change things right now.
mhm,
One, with his capacity.
mhm,
Second, with the club structure as well. And
mhm.
you are right as well, because when Arsenal, it wasn't a good off field as well. Like we mentioned about the player power, Granit
Mhm,
Xhaka's
mhm.
doing the player stuff. They didn't have a proper captain, and then Martin Odegaard. I think that was the one of the youngest captain to come in, right?
Yep.
And then after the next season, then came they had a director of football, which is Edu, right?
And yep.
And then they start eliminating
Mhm.
these big players, or big wages player like
Yep.
Aubameyang,
Correct.
Lacazette, David Luiz,
Mhm.
Granit Xhaka also went off, and then all those I would say, like the defenders like Man United have right now.
Yep.
Your Lindelofs. Okay, maybe Lindelofs go. Your Luke Shaw, who's always injured,
Mhm.
right? And I think what they call that? Yeah, Rob Holding was one always in injury risk. Suarez not back, right, who couldn't play games, right? So you could see a process of moving out players as
Yes.
well, right? So, and again, I'm comparing Arteta is because Sir Jimmy compare Ruben Amorim with
Because
Arteta,
he compared.
and exactly. And if you are comparing and saying that you are giving time because of Arteta had time with Arsenal, and this is where my argument, man,
Mhm.
right? It's not the same. It's not the same.
Okay.
I see Arteta was showing certain potential, but I'm not seeing Ruben Amorim showing potential right now. He has potential. I'm not saying
Yep.
that. He does not. He's a good coach. He has potential, but in Man United right now, up until now, right
Yep.
before the Liverpool game
Mhm.
and after the Sunderland game, I'm not seeing, at least for my side, I'm not seeing the potential. Right, I'm seeing 38% of winning games. Right,
Mhm.
we are what 6 games in, right, in Premier League, 6 game in
7.
the Premier
I think it's 7
seven.
now already. Yeah,
Do
7
do a
games
quick
already. This week is game
7
week 8.
games.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, 7 games, and remind me where we are right now. Exactly. And the only winnable games were at home,
Mhm.
and with two promoted side and one 10-man team, right? So I do not know how I can jump and say that, you know what, this is a different season from the previous season, Matt.
Correct.
Right?
That's true.
I know people will scrape details, data, and everything. Oh, XG is so good. It's
Mhm.
there with Man City, with Chelsea, with Liverpool. But the bottom line is that those are just data, right?
Yep. Correct.
And it does not say the potential of a coach. Whereas I'm comparing the results, the performance, your win, your
Yep.
goals
Yep.
score, your goals against, right? Your clean
Yep.
sheets. These matters. These are providing you points. XGs
Correct.
does not provide you
Exist
points.
doesn't. Correct. So I mean, speaking, I know speaking about these stats and all that, right? Yeah, we've had these comments that was running through on our socials. I
Yeah.
think that
Go
was
ahead.
so.
What's up? What's up?
No, there was one person who was commenting. I mean, I'm not going to quote names, but then in those
Okay.
comments, the person was talking about, oh, we had the most. I mean, in summary, right? This person was saying that, oh, we had the most, chances created and all this and that. Are you kidding me? And all this. And I'm like, yeah, let's. And so that's where I was challenging back as well. It's like, okay, yes, you can get all those stats in the world. You can, you can have the best XGs, your chances created, potential, the potential scores and to goal and all that stuff, right? But when you're not winning games, and I said, where does that put you on the table? So at the end of the day,
Exactly.
right? So it's not that, yeah. So that's why, yeah, I agree. I agree what you are saying as well, right? So you can have all the greatest XGs in the world, but when you're not posing that threat and winning games, or even like you've mentioned this in few of our episodes previously, right? It's the in-game tactics when you know you
Yes.
have to change to capitalize. I think that's where I somewhat tend to fail to see, right? That's why probably we were talking about, light switch FC, right? It's like you switch on the first half, you are switched on. So and the next thing you know is like, what's happening, man? Like, what the fuck is happening, right? It's like, what happened to the second half? Yeah, maybe you are, okay, I agree with your point that in our previous episode, managing the game, right? To hold that lead and all whatnot. But I don't know, it's just as fans, probably you just probably feel like, well, you can do that in the first half, kill the game, right? Go post the threat, continue that, right? So, and I've always said this as well in in our previous episodes, even when we speak offline, you are as good as your last game. I always say this, right? There were people who didn't understand what you mean when you say that. I say, yeah, depending on how good you were in your previous game, that's how, you've got to. Yes, you have to be consistent lah. And I can also agree, right? Last week's point when I think Kuhan was mentioning that, no, even you were mentioning 2-0 lead is not enough. It's like, it's dangerous, they can
It's a
still come.
dangerous league. Yeah. Yeah.
Correct. It's exactly. So, of course, speaking of goals, speaking of, creating chances and, link ups and all this, talking about forwards lah and players and all that stuff. This is the other nonsense that was happening during this international break when, there was this survey, right? I was shocked when people were talking about the agents, conducting the survey and all that stuff. And Benjamin Sesko is regarded the worst signing of Man United. So, and well, a lot of them were going berserk about it, man. Why did only Florian Wirtz get one? It was only one vote, and Sesko had the most. So I don't know, man. I think it's a joke, lah, if you ask me, on why was he even rated as such? But I don't know, Shariff, I want to hear from you. I mean, if you have went through those stats, right? There was apparently, okay, so speaking of that survey, right? So what it was basically was a survey of like plus minus 20 football agents, right? And apparently, like what you mentioned earlier on the United potential takeover that came from Athletic, and this also came from the Athletic. Yeah. So to rate the best and the worst transfers, right? So Sesko's 0.6 million, or was it 73.7? I'm not too sure, right? Transfer was voted the worst deal, or shall I say the worst signing, right? So, okay, so the votes was 6 votes, yeah? He received 6 votes and is the highest, right? So that also included like opinions, like they were saying too much money and was a bit too soon for United to splash that amount of money for a striker like Sesko, right?
Mm.
With not much pedigree, like, so to speak, right? Then, and the runner-up on that poll was James Trafford's move to City with 3
I
votes.
know.
And the rest of them was only 1 vote. Shockingly, Florian Wirtz with what? 20, 115, 120, 25 million, I don't know lah. Only received 1 vote. So I don't get it. I want to hear, I can go bonkers about it, but I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, this is me speaking as also a neutral fan, but I know people will say, you United fan, of course, I back up everything. I think that this is usual, but yeah, I think those who follow our channel, right,
Yep.
or our pod, right, do know that if something that I see is not great with United, I'll speak out, right? I'm not afraid to speak out. Something says out. I speak out about managers, I speak out about tactics, I speak out about ownership and so on. But yes, I agree with you, man. This is ridiculous, man. I mean, to start with, right? To start with, I mean, Benjamin Sesko costs like what you mentioned, 70 million, right? Okay, one. He's only 22 years old and he started only for 4 games and appeared in substitution for the other games, which is
Yep.
3 in Premier League, right? That's total of 7 games, and the substitution was only like what 10 minutes or 15 minutes. All right. And when you compare to the likes, again, okay, I do not want to compare directly to a rival or something like that, but I think the highlight of the transfer was your British s- biggest
Record.
summer transfer
Yeah,
record,
correct.
Alexander Isak, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then your youngest player, to break the record, 125. Your 3 big signings, all right, for Liverpool were lingering, right? From the
Yes.
150 million to 125, and then Etikite around 90
Yep.
million, right?
Yep.
Okay. So that almost like what 300 million that you spent
Correct.
on summer for those 3 strikers, right? And then who else? I think I also want to say that like Chelsea also bought Gittins as well. That cost more than Sesko, right? And I don't know where he right now, right? Maybe some
Don't
Chelsea
know.
fan could help
Yep.
me with that, right? And then Arsenal Gyökeres as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I
Yeah,
mean,
where are they?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Gyökeres, I think also at the 90 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
But has how many goals? Maybe
I
while
think
I'm
2.
speaking,
Yeah, I
maybe
think he has only 2. I
2
think he has
goals,
only
right?
scored 2. Yeah,
Then it's the same with Benjamin Sesko, right?
exactly.
For a 22-year-old, right?
Correct.
So for me, this is all. I mean, proves, right? When Man United say, right, or when people say, or even when we spoke about, right,
Mm-hmm.
the pressure of playing Man United, it's so different,
Yep.
right? I mean, people always, or maybe the fans could just simply jump, oh, McTominay MVP
Mm-hmm.
last Serie A. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Højlund started scoring
Mm-hmm.
goals, being the best, but then after a couple of games, he's back to his usual. Okay, fine, good. And then the ex players who goes out from Man United like Anthony and so on and so
Yep.
forth. Oh, they are better. So the problem is at Man United. No, the problem is not Man United. The problem is the pressure of
Mm-hmm.
playing for Man United. Right? This shows a burden to them. Right? Meaning agents that you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, agents
Mm-hmm.
and journalists. seeing that the worst summer transfer
Yep.
is a 20-year-old forward from Leipzig for 60 to 70 million,
Mhm.
where else who scored 2 goals, who created the goal for Embuemo, and I think he assist also one. He got
Mhm.
one assist as well to a player. Your British record transfer. Did he score something? Isaac? Isaac
Zero.
score
Oh,
what?
Isaac only scored one goal.
Which is the
I think was one of the cup
EFL
games.
league,
I think.
right?
I think
EFL,
so.
right?
Yes. That's it.
Yes. Florian
Yeah.
Wirtz still
Florian Wirtz
007.
still
Agent
zero.
007, right?
007.
007. So I cannot put two and two here, man.
Cannot brain. I
Couldn't
cannot
put
brain.
two. Yeah, I can because again, this is not something that we created, that Man United created or some other club. This is something from the football people created, right? From the
Exactly.
media itself,
Yep.
created something out of nothing, and then of all the even though after even though of all happening,
Yep.
there's always something that you
Mhm.
can find fault with
Yep.
Man United, right? And this proves well. And like you mentioned, 6 votes and
Exactly.
1 vote for Florian Wirtz. I mean, oh my God, are we looking at the same game?
That's right.
Are we looking at the same football?
Exactly. I don't know what football they are watching. Is it a multiverse? So we don't know. It's a
I
joke.
don't
It's a
know.
joke.
Yeah.
I mean, I was surprised when people were talking about these stats. I'm like, hey, what's Florian Wirtz been doing? Oh, well, we'll probably get people arguing about it. Oh, you must see off the ball. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
care.
That's exactly if Man United comparing, we are not getting the result, but our XG is so high. That's the
Correct.
same comparison of
Exactly.
scraping justification
Correct.
with a Liverpool fan say, "Oh, he's off the ball, his movement is." That's nothing,
That's
man.
that's bollocks.
No one going to say that. Oh, because your ball movement, off your
Mhm.
ball movement, you are
Correct.
going to be nominated for Ballon d'Or.
Yes.
Can
Exactly.
anyone? No
It's
one. No
no
one.
one. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree with you. And well, I mean, it's just shocking. But however, look, these are just probably topics and some level of rantings between Shariff and myself. However, I want to hear from the viewers as well, whoever are tuned in. Right, share us your thoughts on that recent survey. I don't know. We are missing probably something, but well, truth to be told, we are totally disagreeing that Florian Wirtz has only one vote. so
Yeah.
I mean, guys and girls, whoever is tuned in, drop us your comments as well. Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. So and all right, Sharif, moving on, man. So we have a very big game, man. Liverpool versus Man United this coming weekend. Yeah, I know in our last episode we did cover a bit, right? We did cover a bit of the what we possibly expect, what we somewhat predict. But of course, I want to hear not just from, I mean, want to hear from you, obviously. We only have us here, right? But of course, yeah, in our previous episodes, for those who have tuned in, we did talk about the person who came up with that tweet deserved an award when this person mentioned Liverpool are in a team in transition, which it's bollocks, right? They are not a team in transition, right? They have splashed so much of money on Isak, Verts, Ekitike, Milos Kerkish, Frimpong, and Leone, right? And what? Obviously, media still protects the team who is going to be facing United this weekend. Both teams coming from okay, not both teams, sorry. Liverpool coming from a 3 straight defeat. Yes, they are playing at home against Man United that is yet to find a back-to-back win. They have not won 2 games in a row, I think, so far. I'm not sure is it
For Man United, right? Yeah.
for Man United. Yeah, they have not won back-to-back games, right? So your thoughts, what do you probably foresee this coming Sunday between Liverpool and
Yeah.
United, Sharif? What are you?
You know how real I get, right?
I know.
I don't speak the Lulu or in Cloud9, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe let me put this right. The last time that United won at Liverpool was when Leicester won the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
how long? How long? I would say how long? How long it took? When was the last Man United win in Liverpool? Was when this is how long? Leicester won the league, got relegated,
Oh,
came up
2016,
back, and then got
2017.
relegated again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
So I'm not. But the if you put into words, right? Okay, meaning Man United have not win in Anfield, okay, for a period where Leicester has won the league and then went down to
Mm-hmm.
a championship and then
Yep.
came up back and then came down back, right? Still, Man United
Mm-hmm.
has not won in Anfield. So I will say I will not have high hopes, right, for us to win a game at Anfield. But again, I'm really hoping for a performance, right? I think that's the minimum
Mm-hmm.
requirement as a fan, right,
Yep.
for United that I want to see, right? I will be very, very happy with a
Mm-hmm.
draw.
Mm-hmm.
But if you lose, for
Here we
me,
go.
it's not something that it's not something that is game over. But if we lose like how we lost with Grimsby, if we lost like how we lost with what do you call that,
Mm-hmm.
Brentford, or yeah, for me then it's then that's no brainer. Then that's again, we are always, like I mentioned, right? When you want to trust the process, you got to see a certain pattern to
Mm-hmm.
trust the process, right?
Yep.
You cannot just say I'm going to trust the process. Oh, okay,
Yep.
I'm going to prepare SPM, but then now I'm failing, but then I'm going to keep on doing because I keep on failing the subjects same and over again. But I'm going to trust the process because at the end of November I'm going to get A. That
Mm-hmm.
just ridiculous, right? And Einstein also stated that the same thing, right? If you do the same thing the same way, it's
Mm-hmm.
just idiocracy, right, Matt?
Yep.
So
Yep.
so for me, that's where I see Man United right now, and I hope to be proven wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm kind of nervous, actually, especially playing in Anfield, and I'm so kind of nervous as well. I think I mentioned
Yep.
in our previous episode
Yep.
where we talk a lot of these underperforming
Mm-hmm.
big money signing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just afraid that United will just hand out the silver spoon, the golden spoon to all these
And
players,
make them all look world
turn
class.
to make them all look world class, to make us eat back
Our
our
words.
words, our justification, and what they call that, what we talk about, Sesko being compared to the worst signing and so
Mm-hmm.
on and so forth, right?
Yep.
You know, so again, I'm just hoping for. I will not say hoping for a draw, right? If we
Mm-hmm.
can win, go for it, right?
Yep.
Because this Liverpool is not a. This is a. I will say, if you want to play Liverpool, this is the good time to play them, right? And I told that, and I brought this up to one of the Arsenal fans who joined in as well, where
Mm-hmm.
Arteta prepared the team not to lose. I feel that they could just go
Mm-hmm.
over, or maybe
Yep.
go for Liverpool, right? Because they are not as good as they need to be, or as they are right now, right? So for me, I'm hoping for the results, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I would not be disappointed if it's a 1-0, or sorry, it's a draw, right? I mentioned it was years ago where we won in Anfield, right? And even when we compare during our quote and unquote glory days, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was really hard to get
It was hard to get a
results
result
in
there. I agree.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, totally agree, man, with Shariff. So of course, well, I would like to listen to the viewers as well. What do you think? What are your thoughts? What are your predictions in the upcoming Clash of the Titans? Should I even use that word? I don't know, lah, Sharif. Who is a bigger club than who? I don't know. But anyway, speaking of history and all, obviously it's one of the greatest matchups in the EPL. So please drop us your predictions, your comments, drop us whatever you think on the upcoming matchup between Liverpool and Man United. And of course, um, this is a game to really to watch. I would like to think, obviously, we'll be watching the game and really looking forward to it. And of course, I would like to think we have come to the end of this very show. And for those who have tuned in, thank you very much. For those who are new, the usual stuff, hit the like and subscribe button. and turn on the notifications as well, and stay tuned to to weekly episodes. And yeah, and of course, before we also end the show as well, Sharif, did I miss something else you would like to add on?
Well, I just want to add on that the Pork Mall is helping Liverpool to break their three losing streak by getting Michael Oliver as the referee as well, right? So
Man,
yeah, we know the world is
yeah,
against.
yeah, yeah. It's all.
When you have again Michael
So,
Oliver as
so,
the referee.
so I will wrap up by saying: Is Michael Oliver the 12th man of Liverpool? Is Man United
I
gonna?
He's not the 12th man of Liverpool. He's clearly a 12th man for Newcastle United. I think Kuhan can can rate that for me. But he's clearly a Man United hater, right? Because I and again I'm not speaking like I know some people say lah ini MU cerita pasal all this referee stuff and everything, right? But if you look towards when he was growing up, when he was a young boy,
Mhm.
sitting in the rain behind Alex Ferguson as a fourth official, he got a lot of stick from
Yes,
Alex, man. I mean,
I think this is
so
payback time lah.
so member sudah graduate, right? So in the
Mhm.
field ini,
Yeah.
and then looking at over there, that old man is not there anymore. It's upstairs, right? So he do stuff because I mean, come on, man. I mean, people were saying about Diogo Dalot's red card as well.
Oh
Just
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah. That
toxicity.
one.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then when he was in Man United, Bruno wanted to talk to him. He refused to talk to him. I mean, captain should be given chance to talk, but then he just brushed off.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and a lot of more, right? The decision making that Michael Oliver has during the game, and it's really funny, lah. I mean, how the referees selection, right? I he's one of the best referee what England has right now, right? Okay, I get it, and of course a big game you want a good ref, but you got to see the controversy behind it as well, right? I mean,
Yes.
right, and for me, this referee has a lot of controversy
Mhm.
officiating a
Mhm.
big game where Man United is playing with a big rival
I
or
agree.
a big opponent, right?
Yep.
So this is also a pressure to the referee association as well, right? And after the Brentford game, all
Mhm.
this stuff as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. I got to go with the crowd or the bandwagon, Matt. Right? I
Yep.
just feel that the selection of this referee. Oh my God, it's putting me off as well.
Yeah, I
How
agree.
about
I
you?
agree. Same, same. I couldn't agree more as well, right? It's not always been pleasing
Yeah.
to have to have Michael Oliver refereeing United games, and let alone United and Liverpool, right? And he's been refereeing this game for quite some time already, and there's always controversies, right? So, but well, at the end of the day, I'm just looking forward to a very good game. Again, I don't want to eat my words back after the result. So so yeah, that's a wrap, guys. Of course, Sharif, thank you for joining. And thank you to all those who have tuned in as well. Thank you for contributing to our likes and subscribes as well. And of course, to also, obviously share to your friends and so on. So with that, it's a wrap. Thank you once again. And on to the next episode. Peace out. Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Bye bye.
All right.